At the beginning of the year, we've had all the big banks expecting a stock market crash and a big recession. What we actually did get so far this year is that we've got a massive rally, and now we have all the major banks downplaying a recession, saying a recession, the odds of a recession are now close to zero. So, what should we be expecting going forward? And should we ever listen to those big banks, to their calls about the stock market and about the economy? Because they've been so wrong lately. Well, guys, this is what we're going to discuss in today's video. We're going to discuss the technical analysis that we see on the charts. We're going to discuss the big news that we have ahead of us this week, and we are also going to discuss about prop firms. Guys, as you may be aware, we've had one of the biggest prop firms in the industry collapsing a couple of weeks ago. Why that is, we're going to discuss in today's video, and what we're going to do about it, whether we should trust them going forward or not. Guys, before I start, if you do enjoy today's video, please please give it a like. It does help us a lot, guys. And if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. We do bring out the latest stock market analysis outlook every single Monday morning. Now, guys, let's start off by looking at the S&P 500, and here is the daily chart of the S&P 500. So far, what we are seeing, guys, the chart still looks very, very bullish. And actually, however, something bearish it could potentially develop here. Okay, we may have a potential head and shoulders in the making here. Now, the only reason we will consider this a head and shoulders if we break this neck here, okay, which sits right in around the lower expected move for the month, guys. Okay, so when do you turn bearish? Well, should we turn bearish is only when we break this neck. Unless that breaks, guys, we'll be watching this very, very closely. Why? Because if we break above the right shoulder here, the potential right shoulder, then all-time highs are definitely in question, guys. Okay, definitely in question. Now, if we take this off for a second here, one thing that I'm looking at, guys, is this gap here. Okay, so we've had a massive gap that occurred at the beginning of August here. We want to see if price does make it all the way up there, guys. We want to see if this acts as either support or resistance for price. So we'll look at this to act as resistance. If this breaks, then look at it for a retest, and then potentially all-time highs in there. Now, we managed to break the 20 and the 50 EMA. Now we broke back above it, and now these are acting as support for price. As long as price can hold on above them, this is still bullish for the charts, guys. And looking at the weekly picture here, guys, we've still, as we expected, okay, we've managed to connect back with the 20-week EMA. However, we've not managed to break down below it. As long as we hold above it, guys, all-time highs, the liquidity above here, it's in question. No question about that. Okay, guys, so bear that in mind. Now, if we go to a smaller time frame, guys, what do we see here? There's a number of things that we're looking at. First of all, we do have this gap here. Okay, so price has stopped so far at it. You want to see if price keeps rejecting this, then it will be good for a sell. If we manage to break above it, then I'll look for price to retest this and perhaps act as support, and we look for price to go to the next area of interest, which will be this one up here, guys. This one up here is very interesting to me. First of all, it's right at the upper expected move for the week, and we've managed to have some multiple rejections from this area in the past. Okay, so if we do make it above here, we can have a nice buying opportunity, take our profits right about there. If we are rejecting this, guys, then we are definitely looking maybe looking for a short. And if we to break this, then yes, for sure, all-time highs should be in question at that point. Okay, but short term we may have some selling opportunity. If we are not able to break above these guys, then definitely we are looking for a nice short to take some of this liquidity, and I will be looking at this gap that occurred here, guys, on Sunday the 27th of August, to see if this can act as either support or resistance for price. So if we reject this, will be a nice selling opportunity all the way down here, guys. And if we do break down below this, then we may be looking at price to come and retest and look at and take this liquidity all the way down there, guys. Now, before I go into more technical analysis, looking at the other indices, we need to see the news for the week, guys. We have some very important news this week, starting with Wednesday. So nothing before Wednesday, guys. Okay, no major news announcements. However, on Wednesday we have one of the most important data points, which is the CPI data. Now the CPI data, guys, is predicted to come in at 3.6%. that is higher than the previous reading of 3.2%, guys. If it does come in, I would say if it comes in at 3.6, it's still going to be negative for the stock market. But if it comes in higher, 3.7, 4%, even 4.5%, I think that will be pushing it there. 4.5%, this thing is too much. But imagine it comes at 4.5%, I think we'll have one of the biggest crashes there. It's just telling us that the inflation is not going down, it's rebounding, guys. Okay, and it looks like even though they've raised interest rates so much, they're not doing anything. Okay, they're not actually helping bring down inflation. So watch that, guys, on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, guys, we have more economic news. We have the euro. Okay, the euro area is under pressure a lot, so watch this. Okay, it's going to be very interesting for the euro and perhaps for the DAX. And then we have retail sales here in the US. Okay, with more inflation data, the PPA data as well there. Okay, so Wednesday, Thursday, guys, big economic news to be aware of. Now, guys, before I go into the technical analysis, you're probably aware that my Forex fund, which is a prop firm that funds traders, they give traders funds to trade. Now, they were one of the biggest in the industry, and they got taken over by the SEC, by the regulator in the US and Canada. Their bank accounts were frozen and their business has ended. Why? Because they were doing a number of frauds. Okay, first of all, the owner was taking money out of the business and just buying houses, cars, and so on, which is not, you can't really do that, okay, in a business. Second of all, they were betting against traders, okay, which is not that's not the way, you know, you help traders. Not betting against them. If you see good traders, you want to copy their trades, you don't want to bet against them. And they were giving traders high quite a lot of fees, and if a trader was very, very successful, they were trying to bring them down one way or the other. Now they are out of the business, as most probably they will be out forever. Okay, even though they say that on the September 11th, which is the day, they will have a court case, unless they change their business structure a lot. I don't see them coming back. Now, guys, we don't want to be associated with someone like that. We are working on another partnership to come out this week. We discussed about TopStep. Now, TopStep is another firm that has been out for over 10 years now, and they've been funding traders. Okay, they're very successful. They have a lot of great reviews. I've been working with them for a while now, and they do pay out on time, and they have quite a great business model there. Now, they if you are interested in finding more about TopStep, okay, we do have message us directly. We'll be able to tell you more about TopStep. They do have quite a few promotions going on now, okay, on their accounts. And if you want to get a 20% extra on top of the promotion, use the link below in the description, guys. Now we do listen to you, okay. We know that TopStep is having some issues now in terms of which broker can you use, and currently they cannot use TradingView to trade directly on TradingView. And because of that, guys, this week we'll be announcing a new partnership with a different prop firm that you can use to trade on TradingView directly, guys, okay. So stay tuned on our Discord channel for more news on that this week, guys. This is very, very exciting, but we'll be announcing this week. Okay, now let's start off and carry on with the technical analysis, guys, and start off by looking at the UK 100 here, guys. Now the UK 100 is in a narrowing channel here, guys. We do have trend line above and trend line below here, and prices currently coiling out in between this. For now, no trading, I would say. We want to see whether this wants to break above or below, and then if it does, we'll be looking for trades above or below that. For now, price is not doing very much, guys. And just to pick up on this, guys, the markets, they still look bullish, okay. Especially we talked about the S&P 500, that still looks very, very bullish, guys. Now one thing that I want to show you, even though we have a lot of bullish calls and the technicals do look bullish, okay, one thing to pay attention to is what's going on behind the scenes. And we have credit card borrowing costs are at the highest since records began in 1972 per ING, okay, guys. So consumers are struggling with high borrowing costs from the credit cards. The credit cards are maxed out, and because of high interest rates, their monthly minimum are going through the roof, guys, okay. So that's not signs of a booming economy, okay. So something may happen, okay. We're talking about a credit event that may be due to happen. Bear that in mind, guys. That can happen at any point. And the economy, even though the stock market has been holding on very well, the actual economy, the consumer is suffering a lot, okay. So bear that in mind, guys. And one more thing I want to show you, which I find very fascinating, guys, is what's going on with Tesla, guys, because Tesla has been under extreme pressure. And Tesla, look at their most popular models, guys. They've decreased their starting price since the beginning of the year by 30K. Guys, this is a lot. Can you see? A Model X used to cost 121K. Now it costs about 80K starting price. So if you bought a new model at the beginning of the year, guys, you are down 30K. Why? Because Tesla, the business model is under extreme pressure now. Does this show you a healthy company there, okay, which is struggling to sell cars, is struggling to keep up their volumes? It doesn't look like a strong company to me, guys, okay. A strong company will increase the prices, not decrease the prices, and so many times during a year. Fair enough, you decrease it by 5K or so once a year, but to do it in 9 months so many times, that doesn't look healthy to me. So can you see how the consumer is not healthy, guys, okay. So bear that in mind, okay. We do trade the technicals, so whatever the technicals are showing us, just bear that in mind, that a credit event may be coming, okay, at some point this year, and if it does, it will take the whole stock market down with it, okay. So be careful. Next, guys, let's talk about the DAX here. Now the DAX, guys, okay, has been in a consolidation range since April here, which is quite annoying. All we can do on this is just intraday short-term trading for now, guys, okay. One thing to look at is the weekly chart. So the weekly chart has managed to close below the 20-week EMA and now is retesting this as resistance. As long as we're able to not close above that, guys, then I can see us I can see lower prices here in the future. Okay, so watch this very, very carefully, guys. If we keep rejecting this, okay, the more we reject it, the more likely is that we go lower here, guys. Now let's look at an hourly chart here. And guys, we do have this area here, which has been acting as strong support here, and that's played out perfectly. And even last week we had a beautiful trade here. We've cleared that liquidity perfectly, came out again to our preferred area and had a massive bounce from it, guys. As long as this area holds, fair enough. Okay, we are bullish now. Price has been bullish, and I'm looking at a number of areas here. The first area that I'm looking at will be this one here, for liquidity to be grabbed. So far, guys, this looks bullish, okay, and we may be going higher. Just watch the weekly. They're very, very importantly, and as I've mentioned, the in terms of the daily, we'll be looking at this area for liquidity to be grabbed, and we want to see what price does after the liquidity is grabbed. Does it carry on to take the next liquidity, or do we see some sort of break of structure on a smaller time frame for us to take a short on? Next, guys, we have the US 30, the Dow Jones here. Now the Dow Jones is at a critical level here, guys, very importantly. Now we do have a nice trend line here, which has been acting as support for price, and we are looking when do we turn bearish? Once this breaks. We're looking at this trend line. If this trend line breaks, then we're looking for lower prices, and for price to come all the way down here, guys, this would be the first target to clear that liquidity there. Now if we go on to a smaller time frame here, guys, what do we see? We do have price pushing up higher. Okay, so as you can see here, we're making higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows, guys, and this is very bullish for now. Where is price trying to get? Well, the first target will be this one here, the liquidity resting above that, guys. For our scalping students, okay, I hope you did get this trade. This looks very beautiful. You know what this is, okay, so played out perfectly from our line here. If you managed to get that, okay, please comment below if you did get that, okay, and well done to you. That was a beautiful trade. Now guys, if we do break below here, if we do break below, one thing that we'll be looking at this liquidity area to be grabbed. Okay, so if we do see a break of structure here, look at this area here as a first potential take profit target. Otherwise, guys, we looks like we are going higher, okay, unless we see that break of structure, as we are getting higher highs and higher lows for now. And yeah, everything still looks very, very bullish for now. Okay, be careful on that. Next, guys, we get the US 100 here. Again, our scalping students, you know, you had this area here, okay, price played perfectly from it, and we are back at it again. Okay, so one thing that I'll be looking at, guys, okay, and for those of you watching that are not in our scalping course, what you want to do, you want to know this line here, and all you want to do is if this acts as resistance, okay, maybe able to get a short from here, okay, all the way down into our gap here. If price is able to go above, I will be looking at this line to act as support for price, and then look for price to go and clear that liquidity up there, guys. Okay, that would be a nice target to get. For now, guys, we are right in here, okay, right at our resistance. Okay, if price does make it all the way back here, guys, watch out. Okay, this may act as support for price, and we may get a nice bounce from it, and if we do break below it, this will act as resistance potentially, and off we go lower to clear that liquidity. Very, very clean also, guys. From a daily perspective, guys, okay, there's a number of things that we're watching. First of all is this gap here. Can you see how this gap has acted as perfect resistance for price? Perfect resistance for price, guys. You want to see if price does make it all the way back here, is this resistance going to hold or not? If it's not going to hold, if this breaks, act as support here, and then we get potentially long all the way back to potentially new highs here, guys, new all-time highs. Our scalping students, you know what this is here. Again, I'll get another blue line here. What is, as long as price can hold above this, okay, we've got this should act as support. If we break below it, it should act as resistance, and off we go to clear more liquidity lines or more liquidity areas, guys. Okay, so something to watch. Weekly, guys, again, same as the S&P 500, we are still above the 20-week EMA. As long as we hold above it, guys, there's no question that we go to new all-time highs. So bear that in mind, unless something breaks. CPI data comes in very, very high, or we get some other unexpected event. Okay. Next, guys, we get the VIX here. Now the VIX has managed to have a nice time above the 15 marker. Now we're back below the 15 marker again. Now, as long as we stay, the more we stay below 15, guys, the more bullish the stock market becomes. So as it stands, we are back below it. We've got a couple of gaps to fill, guys. Okay, so we have one that opened up with today, okay, at 13, and we have this big gap here sitting at 13.07. So I wouldn't be surprised Monday, Tuesday to try and fill those gaps. Okay, comes in Wednesday, anything is possible depending on the CPI data, guys. What are we watching here? We want to see the VIX breaking and staying above 15, guys. It's been a while since we've been above this, guys, so I'll be looking for price to go back to 20, okay, at some point in the next couple of weeks. Okay, it's playing this area way too much here. Okay, I want to see a spike in the VIX, okay, which may occur soon. Next, guys, we have Apple, and now Apple has a big announcement, guys, on the 12th of September, which is tomorrow. Now tomorrow we have the new iPhone, what is it, 14, 15, I think it's 15 now. Yeah, it's coming up. They probably changed so many things, which is nothing. Yeah, they always change a lot of things, like nothing, obviously. Yeah, everything looks the same. I think the only thing that they will change is the price. Apparently the price goes up higher. So there you go. Is this going to be bullish or is this going to be bearish for the Apple stock? We will have to wait and see. But so far, okay, there's a number of things that we have, guys. Okay, so we had that gap here. The price has tried to fill, okay, not fully filled, and now we have another gap here, guys. Okay, now this is very important, because if we don't manage to fill this gap soon, which is Monday or Tuesday after the event, okay, guys, this is bearish for the Apple stock. Okay, the more we not able to fill the gap, the more bearish the chart becomes. And where does it go to? Well, this trend line here. This is a very important level, guys. Okay, so just to make sure that you understand this, if Apple, the biggest company, okay, goes down, it will take the whole stock market with it. For now, it's still holding, guys. It's still holding for now. Okay, but if we get some more selling here, okay, watch this trend line. If this previous resistance turns into support, if this is not able to act as support, then we may be able to take that liquidity all the way down there, guys, which may lead to a big crash. For now, still looks bullish, guys. Okay, and as long as we're able to fill that gap, then we are going higher to potentially clear that liquidity. Next, guys, we have the DXY here, and we've been calling for one of the biggest rallies when the DXY was up there. So well done to you. We completely 100% smashed this. Now, guys, we have this gap here on the DXY, which has acted so far as perfect resistance. So we cleared that liquidity, came into our gap, resistance, and now we are going lower. We're going lower to where, guys, we do have this liquidity resting below here. We are getting, close to being overbought here. So for now, I'll be expecting a pullback. Perhaps Monday, Tuesday, we get a pullback, and then on Wednesday with the CPI, anything can happen. Now, for us to still be bullish, I don't want to see a close below our liquidity area, because at that point we'll have a break of structure and we most probably be going down to clear that liquidity. So as long as we can clear the liquidity but don't close on the daily below it, as long as we don't close below it, then fair enough, we are going higher here. And I will be watching this gap. If this gap can be broken, it can act as support, and off we go to clear more liquidity areas, guys. Watch out on that. Next we get the we get gold here, guys. Now gold is in a very important area. It's also in a narrowing channel here, guys, looking ready to break. We also have this nice area here, guys, an area of interest, which has been acting as support for price. So one thing to look at, guys, which will be very interesting, is if we break below this area, we'll be breaking below the narrowing channel. I'll be looking at price to retest this area, and off we go to clear more liquidity there, guys. So very interesting. Watch that this week. And obviously if we break above it, I'm expecting that lightning bolt, come back, retest, and then go and clear more liquidity. That's if the dollar gives in, guys, most probably. Lastly, guys, let's talk Bitcoin. Now Bitcoin has acted perfectly, okay, and we've called this live, guys. We talked about previous support turns resistance, and that has acted perfectly there, guys. Now price is trapped now. Unless we break above this, okay, then price is still bearish. This resistance is acting is very strong here, and as long as it can hold above it, then we can go and clear that liquidity. Now for me to be bearish on this, okay, I want price to close below the 20, below this daily IC here. As long as we can close below the daily IC, then I can see us going to take that liquidity sitting at around 19. That will be the first target, guys, okay. And obviously if we close above it, then off we go to the next area of interest. That's pretty much it for me, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you do enjoy the strategies that we use, please head over to our website, okay, mcitradingacademy.co.uk. You can join our Discord, free Discord community, and you can also find out more about the courses, the trading courses that we offer. Thank you very much, guys, and be safe out there.